Welcome. The Aeiou framework is a structured way to observe people in an online or an offline environment, and it's one of the tools in our toolbox and is typically used in the discover phase of the 4DLX Grow framework. The AEI framework provides a guideline for the team to note their observations. Ideally, when we're in an observation framework, we typically have 2 or 3 people, sometimes more observing, depending on the situation. And we do this because we all notice different things and focus our attention on different things of what we're observing. And we do this because we're individuals and we're all different, and we recognize this. So the idea is to triangulate what each of us sees within our observations and to help us to get a clearer picture in the discovery phase of what's actually going on, and to really understand the context of the people that we're observing, and to try and, get a sense of what's going on for them. So we're putting ourselves as much as we possibly can in their shoes, so to speak. So the A in the AEIO framework stands for activities. So when we're observing people, we want to discover what activities they're undertaking, how they're doing these activities, and particularly want to look at how do these activities relate to what it is we're trying to discover about the person. So activities, when we talked about them, they actually occur within an environment. So is that environment online? If so, in what context are they undertaking this in a digital environment? Are they using their mobile devices? Are they using a computer? Are they using something else? Describe the environment. What does it look like? So are we looking at a web page? Are we looking at a platform? Are we looking at a social media platform? Or are we looking at a physical environment? Is it an urban environment? Is it a rural environment? Is it an office environment, a car park, a hotel? What does the environment look like? And when we're trying to describe the environment, you want to describe the spacing, the atmosphere, any signage, lighting that's happening in the environment, colours, the layout, and any other factors that can impact on the people that you're observing. When observing the activities in the environment, focus on interactions. For example, how do individuals interact with one another? How do individuals interact within a group? How do individuals interact with systems and processes? How is the team interacting with each other? Are there any interfaces that facilitate their interactions? For example, Zoom or social media. When you're looking at this section, you want to describe the interactions and how they relate to the issue that you're hoping to learn more about. You want to describe them, the observations you make with these interactions, and understand what's going on before we look at how to improve those interactions. When we're looking at objects, we want to look at what objects and devices are used. Focus on the objects used when interacting within the environment or conducting or participating in activities and the environment. How many objects are there? Which objects are most commonly used? Objects could be files, they could be processes, they could be systems, they could be computers. They're those tangible things that we can actually see. And they're those things that people use. These are the objects that we want to notice, and we want to look at, well, how are people using these objects? Next, we want to look at the users of the objects. Now, typically in an environment and when people are undertaking or participating in activities, There'll be those that are the users and those are the non-users. And we want to look at, are the non-users influencing the users? Are users influencing other users? Describe what you see. Are the users playing a role? And if so, what role do the users play? Remember, we're after behaviours. Who can you see influencing them? Is it one or multiple users? Give as much detail as you can about the users. Describe them to a person who cannot see the user so that you can give as much detail as possible. And remember, not everybody in the environment is a user. The other people are the non-users. So the Aeiou is a framework that will help guide you with observations. It's a structured way to collect and report on observations and to address the research questions you have about an understanding of what is going on from the perspective of the person or the people that you are trying to empathize with, gain understanding of, and collect insights on. So be really clear that you're working towards your research question within the Aeiou framework to help guide you with your observations, because the object is to learn about these people.